Today, I wanted to talk about a subject that is ever pressing in my life and my friends' lives, and I'm pretty sure it involves is somehow in your life as well. And that is fear. And yes, fear is a natural instinct that we have that is meant to protect us. But when fear takes the front seat in our lives, we often feel stuck because we don't take those actions that we want to take just because we're afraid of what that other person is going to say, what our boss is going to say, what our family is going to share about us. And that is such a limiting factor in our lives because we're not taking those next steps. We're not starting that new business that we want to. We're not creating content if that's what, fuels you because we're afraid. And how many of our decisions are based out of fear? And I had so many conversations with friends this week urging them to push past that emotion so that they can do something that they want to do. Specifically, in this case, it was content creation. And let me tell you, it is so uncomfortable to put yourself out there. That feeling will never go away. I don't think 100% because you feel exposed and you do feel judged sometimes. But at the same time, what about that feeling of not knowing? The what if you don't try at least? And I think that's almost worse than actually putting yourself out there, whether you fail or succeed, or people, at the beginning laugh at you or make silly comments to you, either sometimes to your face. And you have to learn how to push through that and sort of put blinders on or seek a friend that urges you to push past that emotion to make you realize that you got to keep going and you got to try. And I can only speak from my own experience. When I first started putting out social media content, I promise you, I got so many comments. Even to this day, I still get comments. But what I have found is that if I don't try something, I'm a very stubborn person. And if I don't try something, that feeling of not knowing eats at me. And I know that that feeling is worse than the fear that I could possibly have about what that person or what that other person is going to say about me. So that is exactly what I told my friend when she called me and she felt that the uncomfortableness was preventing her from actually putting out the content. And I told her, I said, the people that you should care about is number one, yourself, your spouse, your kids if you have them, and maybe your parents if they are integral parts of your lives like mine are. Beyond that, nobody pays your bills. Nobody is really assisting you to pay for any of these ventures that you're going to have or want to have. And you need to be okay with yourself. And I can only speak for myself. If I let fear dictate my actions, I wouldn't be okay with myself. And so, what does this mean? I want you to live in the uncomfortable because only good things within reason can come of that feeling and living in that moment. You grow, whether you fail or you succeed, you're going to learn something. And what if you succeed and you actually stumble across something that brings you happiness, that brings you joy, that brings you financial freedom? And you didn't let fear dictate whether you took that next step. If you think that this only applies to business and your professional life, like you're wrong. This applies to every aspect of your life because I have witnessed it in my own life. I am a mom of four. I have lost count of how many comments I receive about, wow, you should stop having kids. It's so hard to raise kids in this society. It's so expensive. Like if I had let those fears dictate my actions, I wouldn't have the family that I have today. I wouldn't have the marriage that I have today. And I think that you need to be able to understand what it is you actually want and let those other outside forces linger in the outside of what is encompassing your decision-making process because they don't know your life. They don't know your capabilities. They don't know what you are made of. They don't know who you are. And if you let all those outside forces dictate your actions, you might not know what you're made of either. And nobody wants to live like that. Finally, I want to end on a different note, and that is maybe you're not going to be on the receiving end, but you can be that person that encourages another person that is putting themselves out there and doing the uncomfortable to keep pushing forward. Don't be the person that pollutes someone else's environment or energy because then they wouldn't have to struggle with all these outside forces of negativity influencing their decisions. They might need that tough love, that they might need that push from someone that says, "You know what? I like what you're doing. I want you to keep doing more of that." Because I can assure you from personal experience that it is uncomfortable. Those comments, even when you understand that they have nothing to do with you, they are uncomfortable to listen to. And if you have the opportunity to be that positive light, choose that. I hope you found this podcast helpful and informative. I hope that it inspired you to take that next step. Don't let fear dictate your actions. You can find us on Instagram at the FoundHers Circle and subscribe to our channel. We hope to bring you more educational content.